Welcome to another episode of Mr. J's Workshop. And today we're remaking the throttle linkages for Project 701. And you're asking, why am I remaking the throttle linkages? Well, I was having problems with the throttle that it was binding. And it was a strange circumstance. The more I used it, the more it started binding. So I tried a bunch of ideas, like trying to get the shaft, bend the shaft in such a way that it lines up more efficiently through an oil bronze bearing I made for the panel. So I made this close tolerance bearing, it has about 5 thousandths clearance, oil bronze, and just from manufacturers. I've used these oil bronze bushings in a lot of shafts. So I had this brilliant idea that this is going to be the best thing for the throttle, to slide it in and slide it out. But I mean, it's been a long time I've been having this problem, and I figure, okay, next day I'll figure it out. I'll sleep on it, get up in the morning, and have a revelation. And I finally came to a point, and I got up one morning, start from scratch. By doing that, I did come across the problem. So the oil bronze bushing, when it was tightened up on the panel, it's squared up on the panel. My instrument panel leans a little bit forward. So when I tighten up the oil bronze bushing, it was pinching the throttle linkage. And then on top of that, on the firewall, there is a nylon bushing for the friction control for the throttle. On these Rotex motors, the throttle is set, if the cable breaks, it goes wide open. That's the way it is. So the friction knob is help you, so when you pull the throttle back to idle, that it doesn't go full throttle again. So adjusting the friction on the firewall on the shaft, that controls it from not sliding back. So after taking everything apart, that's what I found out, that my oil bronze bushing wasn't a brilliant idea. It just screwed everything up. And I had a similar problem with the nylon friction block, that I made everything so precise that when it went all together, it was so precise that it was clamping on the shaft. So I had to fix that. But to get back to the shaft, we're making a new linkage, and pretty much the way I got started on this, when you get this in the kit, it's a long shaft. And I drilled the 1/16 hole first. So I put that in the drill press, put it on the vise, center it up, and just drill it, a 1/16 drill bit. I drilled a slightly bigger because the cotter pin's 1/16. The key element is lubrication. If you don't have any cutting fluids for metal, you could cheat by a little bit of grease, or a little bit of double D40 or CRC, or a little bit of oil, something to lube the drill while you're drilling a 1/16 hole. And then what you want to do is lightly peck it. You're only going to take little cuts at a time, little cuts at a time, little cuts at a time. Don't try to take big cuts, because you'll leave that drill inside the metal. After that was completed, I got my Harbor Freight bender and put that in the vise, and I set up the dimension that's on the print for this, and I just bent the angle. Okay, now that's done. The final step was to thread the end. Let's see if you can see that. So this shaft is 3/16. That's 0.187. So that is a 1032 screw. So went to Amazon, got myself a little die for 1032. I didn't have it in my inventory. Got the die and I just threaded it. Same thing. This is a small shaft. So when you're tapping it, you want to take a cut, back the tool off to break the chips, make sure you lube it up, take another cut, back it off, take another cut, back it off, and every occasion, brush the chips off and add a little bit of cutting fluid. So it wouldn't hurt to take some material off this before you start using a die. The material right now is on size, and usually when you thread something, you turn it down 5 thousandths, 10 thousandths, because after you finish running the die over it, it's going to expand. And then the final thing I had to do was I put it in the powder coater. I powder coated semi-gloss black. We installed it, and then the finishing touch was I 3D printed a throttle knob with the little logo of Zenith in there. And I could pull before I put the friction knob on. I tried it without the friction knob. I pulled the throttle back, and like I was telling you earlier, if the throttle breaks, it should go full throttle. So I pulled it back and let go of the throttle, and it just shot forward. No binding, no nothing. And then I made the corrections with the friction knob to have some friction so it doesn't go forward when you put it to idle. So that's how I made my linkage. So my plan is for 701 trying to wrap up everything firewall from firewall to the rear. So everything I need to do, I'm going to start from the front, work my way back. There's other people who were sent me some text that they're going to join in trying to get done their projects. So I'm going to be checking in with them to see how far along they are, and technically they're farther along than I am. Well, that's all I have for this episode. If you liked the episode, give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Always comment, and we'll see you next time. Get her done.